2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to the 32nd or 34th episode of the Take Aim Gamescast.
32nd.
Okay. I'm your host, Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. And to my left, I've got Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
Hello. Well, welcome back. It's been a long time.
And on my right, I've got Eric King, the Nintendo expert, the little bit of everything expert, the newsman.
Alright, you guys want the news?
Well,
I got some news for you guys.
We're
back.
Oh!
We're back.
We're
Okay.
back.
Yeah,
It's
so
been, like 3 years?
yeah, Eric, let's start off. What have you been doing? What have you been playing lately?
Live
Let's go with
Fire
that.
Emblem Engage. I played.
Okay.
I actually got a new Switch for that. Where'd that go?
Oh, you
Right
got
here.
the,
Oh, right
the
here.
Switch
Oh,
OLED. I think that came out since we last talked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought a new Switch for that, and then got a couple games with it. We might delve into that a little bit later on
Sure.
here.
Ooh, nice.
But,
Okay.
yeah, been doing that. A lot of Overwatch, you know. how it goes.
Overwatch 2. Yeah.
And a little bit Madden, a lot 2K.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
there with you on the 2K. We can talk about that.
That's about it though for the games as of right now.
Okay. And Brett?
Yeah,
What's going on
so
with you?
last time you guys saw me, I was engaged. Now I'm married.
Mhm.
I still have Ellie. She's somewhere down here.
Yes.
I have 2 cats now. I have a house. What I've been playing, Elden Ring. So I'm getting on my way to. I'm very close to getting to platinum in that. So that'll be 3 Soulsborne games platinum. So working on Demon Souls eventually. Going back to that. Get the platinum for that. What else? I got the new Dead Space game, the Dead Space remake that came out last Friday.
I was thinking about buying that. I haven't pulled the trigger
Yeah.
though.
27. So I got through chapter 1 and then I haven't had time to play it again. But
Yeah.
instead of play
I
through that.
beat the original twice.
Okay.
So I'm probably not gonna play the remake, but I would recommend that game very much to people.
Yeah.
Best remake of all time?
Ooh,
Or Final Fantasy VII.
that or Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh.
Man, options there.
Yeah.
So I know Jerry, I've been talking to him, and he was really excited about it. He's been playing through it. Actually tried streaming it last Friday,
Oh.
but it didn't work out too good. So you guys won't see it unless you go to my Twitch channel, Dibbles Carrot. And then I tried out Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That was like free
Okay.
on the PlayStation. You know, I have like the extra, and that game sucks. Don't even try it. Trust
Okay.
me. It blows. It's like Wildlands over that.
Good
But
to know.
besides that, it's been it. Been kind of just excited to come back here and talk more games with you guys.
Yeah. All right. So for me, so last year I platinumed Elden Ring. So that was my first Soulsborne game
Beat you
that I
to
Beat me to it.
platinumed. Yeah.
Is that your
they
first
somehow
game
beat-
you played them?
No, I platinumed Spider-Man and Astrobot Spider-Man.
Man, some legit play.
I
I got Astrobot 2 and Spider-Man
No
2.
toast game
Yeah.
or nothing?
I
Man,
will say I tried the Platinum Final Fantasy VII remake, but I got stuck on like chapter 9 in the hard mode. So
Sky and toast.
yeah.
You want some more platinum?
no, that game's actually pretty hard, I heard, to get the platinum.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I am Mayo.
I may.
But hey, you gotta have some like flexibility with your thumbs, so pressing the buttons over and over again.
So you're like, gotta get the toast game, and then you're always hard to get the platinum.
Yeah, I'm like, this is way
Yeah.
too hard. You know,
Yeah.
delete.
Yeah, but then other than that, it's I've been playing a lot of.
Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
I did not know what to do with that.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Okay. Other than that, yeah, we've been playing a lot of NBA 2K. So I come over here, and Eric and I and our one friend, we have a franchise going to see like who can win as many championships as we can in an 80-year franchise. So it's kind of a cool thing.
We got the scoreboard back there.
Yeah, we got the scoreboard right
I'm
now.
last
It's
place.
17 for
I got 4 straight
Dominic,
up.
13 for me, and then Eric has 11. But yeah, right
CPU's
now,
got 4.
yeah,
Okay.
Eric's on a run right now. So
Oh, yeah, I'm on a roll.
yeah. All right. So with that, we'll move on to our news segment. Eric, did you have anything?
Oh,
to
we're going
bring?
straight into the news here? Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
we're gonna go right into we're gonna keep moving along. So we're gonna kind of
Oh.
be more structured and try to
Shoot,
move
That's
along.
one of our goals.
I thought we were going by the
Yeah.
list. Uh-oh.
For this new relaunch.
I think that
we
was.
want-
I think that was.
Give me that news.
that paragraph.
Okay.
So our goal is to kind of, like Scott said, be more structured and having segments, keep it more consistent, more how do I put it, like segmented. I guess, like I'm not gonna start rambling on for like a half hour about something.
We're gonna keep it like we're gonna not just try to interrupt.
It's in the parentheses.
Yeah, what about the Xbox news?
Well, I thought that was gonna be brought up by you automatically.
I don't know the exact numbers on it, but from my sources, I heard Xbox laid off, what was it, approximately 10,000 employees or something?
Yeah, that was the number according to the report, yeah. It's a lot.
Anything you got to say about that?
Okay,
Xbox expert?
Sure. So, yeah, not good news at all, of course. Very bad. I think it has to do with all of the acquisitions that they've made. So, I know the 343 Industries that
Too many
Halo.
acquisitions, not enough talent.
Well, hold up. So, Halo Infinite, the developers of that was 343 Industries. They got hit the hardest by it. I mean, Halo Infinite, when it came out, it has like an 87 on OpenCritic.
I liked
the
it a lot when
campaign
it came
was
out.
good. Everybody loved the
that?
traversal with the grappling hook, and going around that world.
Well, I liked the multiplayer a lot, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
when they launched it, it only had like 6 maps or something.
Yeah, so
And they've only released.
it
I
was
think,
a
like, 2 more
game
since.
that was cool if you spent like as a casual player, as a person who likes story mode. If you just like multiplayer casually, it was cool for like 30 hours and then you're done. But Microsoft messed up because they thought that this was going to be a hardcore competitive multiplayer game that was going to keep going as like a live service. They haven't really released much content other than, hey, you can play the campaign co-op now.
Well, they should have got with the times and like done the battle royale for Halo. That would have been cool. I mean, Google.
Yeah, they could have like a battle royale mode, anything like that.
Throw
I
some
mean,
scorpions in. Throw some
yeah, the
ghosts in there.
game wasn't bad. It just wasn't one that was gonna last. So, these people, I don't know what they've been doing. So I guess they just got laid off because they have had kind of a lack of content from that developer.
What a shitty company.
Bethesda, I heard like even people that were working on Starfield got laid off. But where I was going with the acquisition stuff is like, this is kind of a normal thing. When companies acquire another company, people in like duplicate roles that were doing the same job as what Microsoft already had people doing, those are the people who are getting laid off. Like, and this happened even at my company that I work at, like Charles Schwab. We bought TD Ameritrade, and then there was a series of layoffs after that because there were just too many people doing a similar job, and you didn't need that. So you fire, and then you end up hiring in more positions of need, like that will actually work on.
I think they just acquired.
I think that's a natural thing. Exactly, yeah. And now with the whole Activision Blizzard thing going on, and that's kind of a mess. Like it is, yeah. It wasn't a good look.
Yeah, they need to start putting out some AAA titles.
Something that big corporations unfortunately do. So,
blame it on COVID. How about that? All right. So in other news, VR2 launching February 22nd. You excited for that, Brett?
Yeah, PlayStation VR 2 is coming out next month. I know there was a report that came out today from some Japanese person who said that Sony's actually going to cut their initial, I think, shipping in half due to lack of, I guess, like expectations of people buying the console. I mean, they launched it at what, $499, like $500, something like that. So, but then Sony came back and said, "Oh, well, there is no cutting in half. Like that's a false report." So, I'm not getting it because one, like I don't know what games would really interest me. And then two, the price point is just too much for what I would use it for. Like we both bought the first VR a few years ago, and it was cool when it first came out. But then once
that was sweet for like 5 days.
Yeah, and then the whole this is supposed to be easier to hook up and everything, and you won't have like a cable attached to you at all times. But
I was worried about the dogs like attacking the cables. So
or like somebody like scaring me if I had the goggles on or whatever. But I think it's still kind of niche, and I think but the specs look amazing. It looks like they can rival the Quest 2. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what kind of other games come out. They really just need to push the VR space, I think. So I think
when you have big name player up in there.
Yeah.
If they really want to.
Yeah.
Do you think
Move
they
this
could
thing along,
PlayStation could ever get Half-Life Alyx on the PlayStation VR 2?
Nah, I don't think Valve would
That's
be.
probably the biggest VR game, like in terms of like.
Yeah, I don't think
that reviewed really well, didn't it?
it did. 'Cause I had it on the Fantasy Games, our Fantasy Games League one year.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Valve will ever do that. I think they really want to push it. I mean, what was it? Yeah, like they still have like the HTC Vive. They still have that. Is that still a thing? I haven't been paying
Still
attention.
exists, I think.
Not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I still think the price point is too high for normal consumers like me
Yeah.
to really want to invest in it. So, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see next month.
Yeah.
Well, coming off of that, we got more PlayStation news. Uncharted may not do Last of Us Part 3.
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah,
The
so-
developer.
They're done with Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yes,
bad.
they're
No,
done
you're
with-
good. So yeah.
That's your shitty writing.
My bad. Yeah, so Neil Druckmann came out and said that Naughty Dog Studios are done making Uncharted games. So, I think it's kind of like over.
Uncharted's done with that Last of Us shit.
Yeah, well, and then we have, he said they may or may not come out with The Last of Us Part 3, depending on if there's a story to tell. But I know that the series, the TV show on HBO Max, has been getting awesome reviews. Last episode, people were saying one of the best episodes.
Did you watch it yet?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I haven't seen the third episode yet.
It's-
so
I don't know. Knowing your background, you might not like it.
maybe if my HBO Max would work,
But
I'd be able to watch it.
it's if you take it for what it is, because it does, go off of the game path and tells a different story in a way.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I think if you have HBO Max, it's worth checking out for sure. And I know, like, going back to the whole Microsoft Activision acquisition, I know they came out and said, "Oh, well, look how great this TV show is doing." PlayStation's the one that has this huge market share and stuff, and trying to pretty much say that, "Hey, let us buy Activision, have no problem," basically. So, but yeah, we'll see. It's a great show though. So
we have.
And then last of the news that I got for today is just Overwatch Season 3 coming in 6 days.
Ooh, okay.
They actually did some things the fans were complaining about, and they got some credits coming now as free rewards because people were complaining because they're just trying to turn that game into a money grab, basically, is what they're going for. So they switched it to credits as free rewards now with the Battle Pass. They got monetization updates, updated hero gallery. A lot of big updates coming for Season 3, so
Nice.
maybe I'll check it back out again for Season 3.
yeah, there you go.
Alright.
So, but that's it for the news today.
Okay, I have one more. Just Hogwarts Legacy coming out, Hogwarts Legacy coming out February 9th. So
10th.
February 10th.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get 72 hours early access.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that game.
and I'm hyped. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later for me, but I'm hyped for it.
All right. Okay, so at this time we're gonna go into top fives from 2022. Top 5 games from 2022. We're gonna go for each of us, or just gonna list off our top 5, and then we can ask you questions about your top 5.
From 5 to 1.
Yeah, so
Okay.
from 5 to 1. So just go rapid fire them. So we'll start with you,
Fire,
Brett.
Okay. So number 5
Our
is. So it wasn't a very game heavy year, I thought, but my top 5 to 1. 5 was Dying Light 2. Number 4 was Legends of Arceus. 3 was Stray. 2 was God of War Ragnarok. And then 1 was Elden Ring. Honorable mention to Horizon Forbidden West. I bought it day 1, but I haven't played enough to really give my own opinion on it. But yeah, those are my top 5. Any questions?
No, you can go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so Pokemon Legends Arceus, that was it, right? So you said
Yeah.
Legends Arceus, so that's a Pokemon game, right?
It is. It was like Game Freaks really pushed to make it an open world experience. They changed some things though with no gyms. Able to catch
I'm just trying to see about
catch things in a wild. You can run around. You don't have, like I said, you don't have gyms, but you have different like journal entries, like quests that you can do, and then there's a story to tell. I got through maybe like half of it, and then I put it down for something else. I think Elden Ring was coming out, so and Horizon, but
Okay.
it was a cool thing. I know my buddy Colin, who made the teaser trailer for us, he really enjoyed it. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I have to ask about number 1 and number 2.
yeah,
So, because knowing you, I know you love the first God of War, and then this one came out. So that must have been a tough decision for you between 1 and 2. I know you kind of fell off of Elden Ring at first. You didn't really play it when it first came out that much, but then you've gone back to it recently, and so that made it into your number 1 spot now.
Yeah, I think so. I beat God of War Ragnarok, and that was a great game. I think it deserved all the accolades it got. Like you said, Scott, I got Elden Ring day 1. I got through like the first couple bosses, and it kind of became a thing where everyone was playing Elden Ring, and people were getting further ahead than me, and I kind of like lost interest in it. And then Jared was like, "Hey, you want to play through this together, like we did with the other games?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then once you get into the world, and you realize there's so much to do, and when people used to say like, "Oh, you can do whatever you want," there's so many things. I guess I never really believe it until I actually started playing it, and how you could take like different bosses, and then I got consumed with like, all the lore and all that. So like I usually do with Soulsborne games, and I just got hooked with it. Okay. I think it's more. Me and Jared talked about this, where I think it's a lot more casual friendly than other Soulsborne games. Whereas, in Bloodborne, Dark Souls is kind of one linear path, right? I hate saying this, but yeah, get good, right? With Elden Ring, there's so many different ways that you can farm different runes to be able to level up, and easier way to get weapons because you can move anywhere. You can kind of go back. You get stuck on a boss, go back, fight something differently, and then get a weapon or level up, and then come back and destroy that boss. Plus summoning, you can summon ashes. You have the Ash of Wars. So there's a lot more, I think, casual ways to make casual gamers really try to enjoy that game and beat the game. Other past titles.
It wasn't casual enough for me. So.
Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh. Okay.
I got like 4 hours playing.
And then you're like, fuck this. I can't do this.
I died too many times.
So I know Stray is on mine, so we can talk about that a little bit when we get there.
Yeah.
Is that that game?
It is.
Oh.
Yes. So then Dying Light 2. So I played a little bit of the first one, didn't get a chance to try out the second one. Is the second one better or worse than Dying Light 1?
I think it's kind of worse. I kind of threw it in there because I couldn't think of any more games I played that came out this year, and I bought it. That's why I stopped playing Legends of Arceus, was because of Dying Light 2.
Okay.
And I started playing through that, and then it was just kind of just, boring. I don't know, so I just kind of threw it in there because not much
I was
else came
surprised
out.
I was in there. I thought you hated that game.
I just got really bored of it.
Did you beat it?
I got maybe like 10 hours in it. And
Okay.
then we tried playing co-op. And
I was thinking about buying a new one, and then I was like, I heard it was kind of like Legends Arceus, but worse. And I was like,
yeah,
definitely passed on that if that's what it is.
Yeah, Dying Light 2 was kind of boring. I was excited for it, but it just got really repetitive, and I lost interest in it pretty quickly.
Okay. So let's move on. So do you want to go, Eric, or should I go?
I'll go.
This list should be
He's
pretty
good.
short.
He's got it.
Yeah, I got a list here. I got a list. So coming in at number 5, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Okay.
So that's 5, and at 4, God of War.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. Well, I'll speak on it a little bit. Overwatch 2 at 3.
Okay.
And this is where I kind of fucked up. I put Fire Emblem at 2, even though that came out this year.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's 2. And then at 1 we got Horizon.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice. So we'll start with number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get to check this out.
So
this
spoiler alert.
This is a Switch
well, not spoiler
exclusive
alert,
game.
but I haven't really gotten too far into this game.
Okay.
But I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
heard
I'm like 10 hours in or something. But I'm like, I needed a number 5 that wasn't like a sports game. So I'm like, Xenoblade seems like it's pretty fun. But it reminds me a lot of like a Final Fantasy type game.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it reminds me a little bit of
think I
like
would
Final
like
Fantasy mixed with like Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I beat that
man,
game.
I gotta
the
go
gameplay
check
wise,
this
I mean,
out now.
so
So is this
I think
only on Switch? Or-
yeah, it is only on
Mhm.
Switch.
Okay.
But
Does it
I do
run-
have an old Switch if you
Yeah.
want to borrow it.
Does it run okay on Switch?
Yeah, I mean it's built for Switch, so
Okay.
yeah, it runs
Well,
great.
I mean, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is also built for Switch, and
Oh, is that run bad?
yeah, that had some issues with running.
Should
I
have
think
been
I
the
heard-
news.
Well, yeah, it was older news, but okay. So then, God of War. What made it come down to 4 for you?
So the whole thing with that was, it was really starting to drag for me, kind of like probably like 75% of the way through. And the whole issue for me was like too much Atreus. Like you kept having to play as Atreus, and I didn't mind it at first. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Mix it up a little bit, change it up, play as Atreus for a little bit, and then it just kept going and going. And I'm like, I want to be fucking Kratos. And then the quests just keep going, and just when you think you're done, you're like, okay, finally, I can get back to Kratos. They're like, oh no, we gotta go do something else. Like I don't know if you remember that one quest. I don't want to like spoiler alert if you haven't played the game yet, but like when you're doing the one quest with the chick, what was her name?
I don't remember. I knew we were talking about.
But yeah, you were doing the quest with her, and you did all that shit, and you came back, and you think you're done, and then you gotta go to Graham's house or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like a whole other 2 hours.
I know, it was a long time.
I was like, so yeah, that was my whole issue with the game was too much Atreus, not enough Kratos, and I just didn't enjoy the story as much as the first one. So.
Fair enough. I know you've been playing a lot of Overwatch too, so you think that it's made good improvements over the first one?
So it is at my number 3 because I love Overwatch, but it does have a lot of issues. Like they have a lot of balancing issues. I think like they need to do something about the damage because there's too many one shots in this game. They got snipers.
Hopefully that can
snipers
be fixed
galore.
with the season 3 that's coming out soon.
Pretty much you gotta have a sniper on your team or you're gonna lose. So a lot of balancing issues. A lot of people are complaining about like the cost of skins and stuff because skins from Overwatch 1 cost $19 right now just to get one skin.
Oh.
So yeah, that's been an issue, but supposedly they're working on it. They're gonna change it up in season 3 a little bit here, and I'm hoping they balance the characters a little better. But we'll see on that because it's kind of been an issue because they they had 6v6 in Overwatch 1, and then they jumped to 5v5 for Overwatch 2, one tank instead of 2. So I can understand maybe a little bit of balancing issues, especially with the damage and stuff, just because all those shields flying around and whatnot. But hopefully they work it out. I'll give them time. I mean, it's a live game, so live service.
Horizon Forbidden West, number 1. I'm glad to see somebody give this game some love because it, got looked over by a lot. So.
Yeah, no, I love this game. I didn't even get beat over Horizon 1. Yeah, but I know you did. You platinum and everything, but which was surprising to me that you haven't beaten Zero Dawn yet. But
can I jump in there really quick? Why does Sony keep putting Horizon against 2 heavy hitters like Forbidden West against Elden Ring, and then the Horizon Zero Dawn against Legend of Zelda?
That's what it was.
Breath of the Wild.
Because I had the opposite issue of you with the first one because I wanted to play Zelda, you wanted to play Horizon. So I went and played Zelda, never got back into 1. Now you have this issue. You fucking went and played Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Can't get back into 2, but no, it was a great game. I actually went and beat it the same day that I beat God of War.
Wow.
But because I had like put it aside for a while, and I was like doing God of War, and I beat that, and I was on vacation that week or something.
Okay.
I'm like, I should go check how much I got left with Horizon. Turns out I was on the last quest. I had like 30 minutes left or something. But it was a good game. I mean, I like a lot of the open world aspects to it, and I mean the world was huge on that game. But no, it was one of the
sounds good.
It's
just the time commitment is like I can only get so much in a year, and it's like I just didn't get to it.
Yeah, I did a lot of the side quests and everything. I think I beat it in like maybe 45 hours or so.
Okay, yeah.
Wasn't gigantic, but
we can move on. So I'll go through my top 5 games now. So at number 5, I've got Pentiment. Number 4 is Vampire Survivors. Number 3 would be Stray. Number 2 is A Plague Tale Requiem. And number 1 is Elden Ring by a landslide. Now, the bottom 4 of that list was really hard because they were kind of even, and then Elden Ring's like way up here. It's like easily number 1 for me.
Okay. So I don't know like half of those games.
I don't know 80% of those games.
So, but
I know Stray.
I do know Stray, and that was did you think you enjoyed Stray because of the gameplay, or do you think you enjoyed Stray because you're a cat person and you could just play as a cat? What do you think like hooked you into that?
I think
game?
it was more the just that it's a cat and you're playing as a cat was the main draw of that
Sure.
game for me. The puzzles were kind of average. They were fine. I enjoyed them well enough. I I liked some of the aspects of it. Just like the exploring, like meeting all these new robots and like a interesting world or whatever. But like I didn't really like the ending of it that much. It just kind of like ends and you're just a stray cat again. Spoiler alert.
Oh, thanks.
Whoops.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys know. So Pentiment was my number 5. This was an Obsidian game. So Xbox Game Studios, like I think it might have been like their only first party release last year, and it had like a 85 or 86 on OpenCritic, so it was pretty good. But it's like a 2D art book style adventure game. So
Are any of
you're
these
gonna-
games on Game Pass?
Yeah, so of course Pentiment was a day one release because it was an Xbox Studios game. So
Was that it?
what's that?
Is that the only one that was on Game Pass?
No, Plague Tale Requiem was also day one on Game Pass. Even though that game was developed by Asobo, which is the same people who did Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Mhm.
Microsoft Game Studios doesn't own them, but they have a good partnership with them, kind of the way that like Moon Studios worked with them on the Ori games. So I think it could be a good acquisition for Microsoft in the future, but they keep wanting to go after the big developers instead. But yeah, really well. I mean, I wish that more games had that level of production value in them as Plague Tale did, because I mean, this is AAA level like visuals,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, we're good.
I'm just making sure.
Okay, we're still
Don't
on.
worry.
Yeah, so it's like AAA level visuals, and yeah, it's not the most well known franchise. I mean, the like survival elements are cool for it, and yeah, I just kind of liked it. It plays similarly to The Last of Us, but it's not as brutal, I guess.
Mhm.
So you're like a girl and you're shooting like a slingshot at people, but you're also solving puzzles. So you're gathering elements which you craft into things, which then you can set things on fire or blow smoke to conceal yourself, and then you work your way through. So
What type of
heavy?
game is it?
It's like a heavy like stealth elements, but then there's
Yeah, but like a 2D.
no. This is
or-
not a 2D. This is 3D high level graphics. Like this is AAA level graphics
okay.
here. But just people don't know it that
That
IP that well. So yeah, I love the first game, and this one was a good follow up.
Okay.
And yeah, then Vampire Survivors is a little 2D action game. It's kind of like an on rails. There's only one button. You're only moving. Literally, you're just moving, and you're collecting. Your guy is like constantly just. The weapon is constantly going off at a steady interval. So you're just trying to move around and avoid the enemies while you're picking up. It sounds like really simple and boring, but there's so much going on the screen at once that like it's actually like really cool. And this was very high. I heard a lot of different
There's a lot of
podcasts
good
put
games
it
that, like-
pretty high on their lists.
There's a lot of good
It's just a
games
good
that-
video game. There's no like story to it, but it's just really fun because you can do a session and you can just play a 30-minute session and then be like, yeah, that's cool. I can get up every morning or whatever, play a 30-minute session, and then there's plenty of stuff to unlock. There was one developer that did it, and it was kind of cool. And this one is on Game Pass too, so
Yeah, there's plenty of good games though that like sound boring. Like you know, you explain like Ori and the Blind Forest to somebody.
Oh, really boring.
It's like how you explain that game to
I
somebody.
love that game. I love trees. I love trees and the like weird wisp
A little
things.
list thing, just
Yeah.
running around basically collecting little whatever.
So let me ask one last question before we
Okay.
move on to our next topic here.
Okay.
Our final topic
Yes.
is so Elden Ring. Got the platinum in it.
Oh yeah.
Why Elden Ring and why not any other Soulsborne game or
So-
From Software game?
I honestly I don't know because I've played all the other Soulsborne games except for I didn't play Sekiro. I played Bloodborne, played Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. Elden Ring, I was like, this sounds really cool. I'm going to give it a try too because it's getting super high reviews or whatever. And I just could never get past like 2 bosses in the other ones.
Okay.
And
so it's a little bit more accessible to you.
yeah, so why this one grabbed me so much was the open world. Just the huge open world. Like, there's so much you can do. So, like, if I'm struggling on a boss, which is usually what would happen in a Soulsborne game, like, I start struggling, I keep dying to it. And then I have to go back and then... and then, like, kill the same enemies and start grinding the souls again just to try to level up. But you're, like, going through the same environment every time because they're more structured levels in the other Soulsborne games. But this is just a huge wide open world. I can go all the way across the map. And then it's just, like, cool, like, when you get these, like, surprises. You go into a mini dungeon. There's always something that you're getting that's, like, cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
You unlock like a new weapon, or you unlock a chest and it teleports you halfway across the map and you're like, whoa, this map is this huge. And it was just like really a great time.
Yeah. No, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bloodborne's still my favorite, but Elden Ring was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so those were each of our top 5s for 2022. Now we'll move on to most anticipated games. We have less for this one, so we'll just go with top 3 for each of us. So, Brett.
Yeah, can I go first?
Yeah.
Really, my list is longer for this.
So, okay, so I'm going to have 4 because I have 2 tied at 3.
Okay. That's
okay. So, tied at 3 is going to be Armored Core 6 from Software. I never played any of the Armored Core games, but I'm familiar with what they are. You know, your Big Macs and yeah. But I don't think they're gonna have co-op.
You think that's coming out this year?
It's slated for 2023. I know people were like when they saw the trailer for it, they're like, "Oh my god, Armored Core!" I'm like, you guys have never even seen like any type of gameplay. Like, I haven't played it. Well, I played the demo back on the PS1, but I never actually played like an actual like numbered game. If that makes sense. But I don't know if it'll come out. Maybe it'll come out early 2024, but it's late for 2023. And I had that tied with Spider-Man 2. Or Marvel Spider-Man 2.
That one's also one that
I think we should
think will come out this year, but
that's
it might
fine.
not be.
So those are my... So yeah, perfect. No
Well,
copying.
I don't know. We could...
No copying.
Number...
You gotta come with your own.
Okay, number 2. That's why I want to go first. Number 2, Hogwarts Legacy. Like Scott said, February 10th, but if you buy the Deluxe edition...
I would have put that at my 3,
So I'm super excited for it. I know it's made by a developer that hasn't made like a big AAA game before, but everything I've seen from like previews and people talking about seeing it, I'm really hyped about it. And then finally, my top game coming out May 12th, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
That will be...
That would have been my top 3, but we can't copy it, so...
So that is my most anticipated game. I love Breath of the Wild. I beat that, and I'm super excited to see what they do. I love that engine. I love the scenery. So I have faith that Nintendo's going to do really well with that game as a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm real excited for that game. But all right, you got anything to say about top 3?
Zelda is, I think, at the top of most people's list. So I did Fantasy Critic Draft, so I pay attention to MinMax a lot. It's the podcast I listen to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And on their Discord, they did Fantasy Critic Leagues. They have 9 of them just so they could get everybody that wanted to be in them, and each one has 10 people each. Some people are duplicate, and like they do multiple leagues because they're crazy. But... like, I think 8 out of the 9 leagues had Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as the number 1 overall pick.
It's going to be the highest score, I think, throughout the year.
Yeah, that one is very highly hyped.
And then I have some honorable mentions. You guys can use this on your list. Like I said, for Diablo 4.
Oh, don't be giving honorable mentions yet.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's it.
We still got to do our picks.
All right, okay, good. Who's next?
Okay,
all right, so...
Eric.
Coming in at number 3 for me, since I kind of had to adjust my list a little bit because I can't have Legend of Zelda on there.
Fire Emblem Engage!
Fire Emblem Engage! No, but I'd say probably Pikmin 4. It's been a while since we got a
sure.
mainline Pikmin game. Like, I don't remember when the last one was. It's probably been like good
The Wii U.
8 years or something.
The Wii U.
So no, yeah, I grew up on those games and they're a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm excited for Pikmin 4. Coming in at number 2, I think, yeah, it's between Baldur's Gate or Diablo 4. I think Diablo 4 would probably be my second most anticipated.
Okay, that would have been my 2 as well.
Yeah, so that's probably number 2 for me.
Yeah.
You know, I really got into Diablo 3.
Mhm.
I actually tried the, what was it, Diablo 2?
The
Resurrected?
Yeah.
Oh, I could not get into that. That was dated.
I loved it. Yeah.
So dated. I could
I
not.
bought
I was
it
telling
and
my
went
brother
for it.
that, and the you guys were like, What is this Diablo 2
Dude, it's
thing?
so
What?"
old.
But I was like, man, I love 2. This was like,
I mean, I get it, like it's a nostalgia thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it is.
having not played that game, I can get into it. But
Yeah.
I love Diablo 3. I played through that game so many times. And then coming in at number 1, since I can't do Legend of Zelda, Starfield.
Oh, that was my number 1. Okay, so I have to think of 3 new games.
But no, I'm actually really hyped for Starfield.
I am glad that
To be
somebody
honest,
else is.
yeah, to be honest with you, Starfield probably was going to be my number 1, even if I think Legend of Zelda probably would have been number 2 for me, if I'm being honest. And probably Diablo would have been 3, but no, I'm really hyped for that game. I think it's going to be really good. It's a little worrisome that it keeps getting delayed. I think it just got delayed again, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't even know.
Starfield,
do they actually have a release date?
They don't have a hard release date, but they're still saying it's going to be second half of 2023.
The only thing
So-
about it is it kind of worries me. It
I-
looks a
yeah.
lot like No Man's Sky. And I hope it doesn't turn into like another.
It's
No
gonna
Man's
have
Sky.
more story than what No Man's Sky had, because we
So,
know they
yeah, I
have
think so
a
too. But
campaign.
I'm just a little worried that it's gonna be kind of empty.
And they also said like it's not gonna be the same in terms of you are going from your ship into outer space seamlessly. It's like there's like a cut, kind of like how Mass Effect. It was like, well, you're still gonna have ship combat because they showed that in gameplay where you're fighting other ships in outer space, but it's like, you know, you have your ground world areas and then you have your space areas, but it's not like a seamless transition. So once you take off, then it transitions to outer space.
I mean, it's probably nearly
And then-
seamless though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who has load screen?
And I'm sure it's gonna be kind of like Outer Worlds, where when you're on your spaceship, or Mass Effect, where when you're on your spaceship, like you can go around to your party members and talk and get more character development that way. Because
I mean, anybody who watches the podcast knows I hate on Xbox as much as anybody, but yeah, I'm hyped for this game.
I think if it gets good
They need something
reviews,
big.
I think I would build a PC for it.
Yeah, they need
Okay.
something big.
yeah, so all right, yeah, and I agree with
That's the
all
only
that.
game besides ESO 6 or Elder Scrolls 6, not ESO 6. I would actually get a better computer.
Yeah, I mean, they're
For that
technically Microsoft now, but
Yeah.
they've out, so
Yeah.
Is it really Microsoft?
Yeah, is it? Okay, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so yeah, and Diablo 4 too, like I hope that people don't hate on it too much because I do think this looks really cool from all the stuff they've shown so far, but just because of Activision Blizzard's shady like business they've had the last few years. Yeah.
We need a top 3, Scott.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start off, since I can't repeat, I'm gonna go with some other games that I think could be cool. The first one, I don't know that it's coming out this year, would be Avowed. This is gonna be a Microsoft game as well, and it's gonna be an Elder Scrolls type of game. So it's, you got your magic and your fantasy medieval setting area. So it's going to be set in the same world as Pillars of Eternity, which Obsidian did. That was kind of like Baldur's Gate style 2D top-down RPGs. But now they're doing a full like 3D Elder Scrolls style RPG. And they did, I bet it'll be similar to how Outer Worlds was, where it'll be a little bit smaller in scale probably than like what the Bethesda does. So Bethesda's probably going to do Starfield like way bigger, ambitious than what Outer Worlds was. But I think that could be really cool, having a little bit smaller world type of Elder Scrolls game. and Avowed. I don't know if it's coming out this year, but I'm hopeful because they showed it like 3 years ago at E3. So, and let's see here.
Fable, is that coming out this year?
Fable, people want news on that, but I don't know. It's gonna be Playground Games is the last thing we heard, and they just did Horizon, Forza Horizon 5 last year. So I feel like
Well, I like Playground Games a lot because I love those Horizon games, but
I think Fable will be
that's all
like
they've done is
cool
racing
too.
games though. So
Yeah, we had a bunch of those that they showed off 2 or 3 years ago at their E3 like press conference thing, and we haven't heard anything since then.
Yeah.
Because there was like a Perfect Dark game. We don't know what that.
Yeah, no, because they're one of the
about that.
Xbox studios that I think could actually do something. But
So what's your number 2?
So number 2, I'm just thinking like games that people took in the Fantasy Critic draft. So there's Like a Dragon Ishin. So Yakuza games rebranded as Like a Dragon. So the last game was Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yep.
And now they have. I haven't played any of those games, but
You're hyped for it, though. You're hyped for it.
I wanted to play Yakuza Like a Dragon. I haven't got around to it, but that should be a pretty cool game because a lot of people say that those games are pretty cool and they play them, and they're on Game Pass. So.
And then what's your number 1?
And then number 1. Oh,
We know it's Starfield, but
I wish I had my list.
well, here's some games that
here's some Final Fantasy 16,
Okay,
Resident Evil 4,
Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, those are both.
which got delayed.
I
today.
should have been saying those. Okay, I forgot about that.
Oh,
They got delayed today.
He's mentioning all these games that ain't even coming out.
Star Wars.
Star Wars
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I like the first one of those, and Final Fantasy 16 after Final Fantasy 7 remake. I'm really excited for it.
I am too. It's really good.
Final Fantasy 15, I barely tried and it wasn't as good. But
Once you, I beat it. Once you get past the whole like boy band thing, it was pretty solid. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, so I'll probably say Final Fantasy
One on the
16.
table too.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's it. We went
Well,
through
let's go to there's some honorable mentions.
some other
here.
honorable
well,
mentions.
We can talk about them a little bit,
think-
you know?
Well, I don't want to go
Is
too
there
far.
anything else you guys
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
talk
I
about
think
here?
those.
I mean,
I think
is
those.
anyone
are
in the
the-
hype for Assassin's Creed reboot? I mean,
Mirage?
Oh, Mirage.
Yeah, but-
Mhm.
I mean, they took a few years off.
Yeah, so some people were picking that.
I heard it's supposed to be like the older Assassin's Creed.
I think I heard that too. But I loved Origins, but I couldn't get into Odyssey.
Oh, I got big into Origins too. I tried getting into Odyssey. It's so long.
And then Valhalla. The only thing I want to do with Valhalla was go to Stonehenge.
Yeah, Origins
all I
was the
wanted.
last one I beat.
I beat Origins, and that was a lot of fun. I love the Egyptian setting. We talked about that in a previous game cast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just couldn't get into the other
Where's
one.
this new one? Is it France?
No, it's not France. I thought it was like China.
Oh, China, really?
I thought it was China. Don't quote me on that, but I thought it was like you could be like a ninja or something. But no, I saw that. I wasn't. I mean, I always end up buying it, Assassin's Creed, but I doubt.
Oh
it.
shit! I know what we didn't mention. Is that coming out next year? The what was it called? The Sony like samurai game.
Oh, Ghost of
uh,
Tsushima.
No. Wolong
What's the
Fallen
new one
Dynasty.
No.
That
Ghost
is
of
one
Tsushima?
that's
What's
coming out.
they announced
Sucker
a new one,
Punch.
right?
No, they haven't announced a new one.
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure it's being worked on, but no, it
I'm
was
pretty sure they announced a new one.
no, it was another game that Scott
Shadow of
mentioned.
Tsushima or some shit.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure they announced a new one.
Are
There
you
is
sure?
a game
I'm gonna
called
look it up.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty that looked like
Yeah, it looked like
a
it.
little
Look
bit,
at that.
but
I remember you texted me. You're like, dude, they just announced a new Sucker Punch announced a new Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, did they? And I watched the whole thing.
They didn't.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Man, I must have been dreaming or something. But man,
Which is a great game. You should. I got to platinum in that game. You should play it. Good game.
okay.
But you know,
how embarrassing for me.
I do want to say one thing too that I'm super excited about that hasn't been announced yet, but I think it will be announced sometime this year. Is the new Gen Design game, and that studio that made Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and Last Guardian. Whenever that game comes out, I'm buying it.
Your wall's gonna be hurting this year, Brett.
Huh?
Your wall's gonna be hurting this year.
No, well, we got some good things going on.
Resident Evil 4?
Don't tell Emmy.
Resident Evil 4, Brett?
I did not play the original one.
Yeah, but you played like 1, 2, 3, didn't you?
I did not play the third one. That game was, I had pre-orders.
I
but it was
heard
too
4
short.
was the best.
4 is you play against Leon S. Kennedy, which I had I think a successful playthrough of that on the Take Aim Games channel. We'll see. We'll see if Jared wants to play. 'Cause we played Resident Evil 8 a little bit, and we just stopped playing
I'm
it.
looking
so.
at one that you were going to be interested in, Scott, and I can't believe you didn't mention it, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned
You did
it,
mention
so
it, to be fair.
I was like, okay.
I
You
was
said
trying,
that
I was
it was
trying to do that
like
because I thought it was on his top
you
3.
said it was
I was
like
like, I'm going to steal
tied with Diablo 3. No, yeah, it's been in early access for so long that I mean the hype has kind of fallen a little bit for me. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out once it fully releases. I haven't played the early access at all, but I wanted to wait until it fully released. But it's taken them a while. It's been 2 years, I think.
Put in the comments what your top 3 most anticipated games are for 2023.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I don't want to go through all these. There's a lot.
there's
lot
a
this
lot this year.
It's
yeah.
gonna be better than last year.
Yeah.
I think
we're hyped for that Avatar game too. I think.
Is that Ubisoft?
Yeah,
Is it?
I think it's a Ubisoft.
Who's hyped about any of
through
those
the hype
games
then.
anymore?
Fuck the hype. It's
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
How that publisher studio has fallen, it's mind-boggling. But they shot themselves in the foot. So
All right, what's next, boys?
All right.
I think
You're
that
the
was.
host, Scott.
I think that was it. So we've
Oh,
hit
that's
the
it.
end of the episode, but stay tuned
Hopefully
for
we're
more.
recorded.
Yep. So we hope it got.
Scott's the new cameraman, so.
All right.
So
Well, I guess you don't hear this if it didn't record, so.
I
Yeah.
think we decided that Tuesdays works best for us, and I think we're shooting for what, maybe bi-weekly.
Every other.
I think we got kind of burnt out doing
Right.
it weekly, trying to come up with ideas, and it became more of a chore instead of having fun like we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I think maybe bi-weekly, and then Scott, he did his stream of
Yes,
High
I
Rush.
did first impressions of Hi-Fi Rush, which
Hi-Fi
got
Rush. See, I
dropped. So this wasn't in the news, but it got dropped. Xbox did a developer showcase last week, and I don't know. It was kind of just ho hum, like Forza Motorsport, and Redfall was supposed to be the main highlight, but then this game Hi-Fi Rush, Tango, who made Evil Within 1 and 2, they were showing off this new game. It's like a rhythm game, action game. It felt cool. It kind of reminded me of like a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta style. You're just going into each level and then doing
Cooper, take all the
to the
attention.
beat. So it was cool. It's getting really high reviews. I probably would put it at like an 8 myself. Nothing like
High res.
nothing too
High
crazy. Yeah. So we got the dogs up here.
Who's cuter,
Rocky's
Cooper or
not
Ellie?
around.
I'm just kidding. They're
Well,
both
put
cute.
in the comments who's cuter, Cooper or Ellie. We got
Oh,
Cooper
yeah,
on
you got
this
those two
side
here.
over here,
Nice butt.
and then we got Ellie over here. So, yeah,
Look at that.
which Corky
Cooper's like,
butt
"Come
is
on,
Look at the
better?
camera, Coop.
All right, everybody.
All right, thanks
Thank
everybody
you.
for watching.
Bye.
Okay,
Okay.
that's.
How did it sound?
It was good.
Oh, that was good. Okay.
Rocky couldn't go on
You're
the
gonna
table.
win the
He couldn't go on
comments
the table.
with your butt.
Cooper kept jumping on me and kissing me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, Coop.